What is Chi in Igbo cosmology? Kedu ihe bụ Chi na Odinani na Omenani Igbo? Now, the ancient Igbo, Ndi Igbo, said that onye nyobe mmụọ ofu chi ya. This means that whoever pries the supreme spirit or tries to see or know the creator will eventually encounter and come face to face with his or her Chi. Now, for us Ndi Igbo, Chi comes first in our interactions with the universe and the creation around us. And that is why we say, Chi bụ ụzọ, Chi bụ ụzọ. It's Chi Ukwu, and I would like to welcome you to another interesting and educative episode at Voice of the Sun. Today I'll be speaking on the concept of Chi in Igbo cosmology, in Odinani and Omenani Igbo. Now, there are two distinct meanings of Chi, of the word Chi in Igbo cosmology and worldview. The first translation and meaning are that Chi represents our soul, is our spirit double, is our personal spirit, providence, is our energy, is the life force or the driving force. Now, for us in Ndi Igbo, Chi is the foundation of our existence and connection to creation. And so our ancestors said that Chi, which means that the Chi exists. Now, the second meaning of Chi is day or daylight, which is signaled by the rising of the sun. And in this second meaning, Ndi Igbo used the word Chi to refer to the transitional periods between the day and the night. And you see this in our language when we say Chi Ojiji and Chi Ofufo, which is nightfall and daybreak. Now, to understand the meaning, the origin, and the essence of Chi in Igbo Odinani and Omenani is to basically attempt to unravel the mystery, which is Chukwu, the benevolent creator. Now, this is a feat that our noble ancestors have attained, for the concept of the Chi in human life and existence is woven deeply into the very fabric of Igbo spirituality, cosmology, and worldview. Now, let me give a brief definition of Chi and then expand on the various aspects of that definition as captured in the wisdom and belief of our ancestors. Now, Chi, according to Ndi Igbo and our understanding of the universe, can be said to be a collection of all the divine sparks of the supreme creator and the supreme spirit, who is Chukwu, that takes human form and then dwells in the personal life of each human being for the purpose of spiritual training, control, purification, guidance, judgment, and power. Now, the Chi can be referred to as a personal god or goddess, or a personal deity. Now, the Chi embodies our individuality, where no two people are the same, and this is embodied in the Igbo saying, Onye na Chia, meaning one and his or her Chi, or one and his or her personal connection to Chukwu, the creator. Now, Ndi Igbo, our ancestors, in defining the source of all things good or bad in a person's life, named their children names like Ife Sinachi, meaning things come from the Chi. Now, this clearly shows that the Chi is the ultimate provider for us in our life journey here on earth. Now, and to further buttress the meaning of Chi, of Ife Sinachi, we believe that the spark of Chukwu that provides for a man is different from the spark that provides for his father, his son, his mother, his sister, or any member of his family. And as such, our ancient ancestors who passed down Odinani to us, they maintained that Chia Wotu or Chia Buotu, which means that the Chi is not the same for each and every one of us. Now, let us discuss Chi in the Igbo name of the creator known as Chineke. Now, we Igbo, and Ndi Igbo, we believe in the creator of the universe, who we call Chukwu, which is a mixture of two words, Chi and Ukwu. Now, Chukwu means the great Chi or the big Chi. And now this shows that Chi for us Ndi Igbo represents the creative force of the universe, and that we all carry smaller versions of, the supreme Chi, who is Chukwu. Now, this concept and belief in Chi remains dominant in the name Chineke. However, the meaning in this second name Chineke, which is a combination of two words, Chi and Eke, with a conjunction Na, is quite unique, and it represents the two sides, or the two sides of the force of creation. Now, although most of us modern Igbo people believe that Chineke means God the Creator, it has a deeper meaning found in Odinani and Omenani, as against a shallow translation of Chineke to God the Creator done by the early missionaries and their converts. Now, in Odinani and Omenani, we believe that Chi na Eke, Chineke, are a duality that represents the creative and distributive force of Chukwu. Now, this is where we say Chi is the male energy, while Eke is the female energy. Both of them are assigned by Chukwu to distribute our shares to us in each life cycle, from birth till death, as we walk through the earth, our life journey here. Now, Chi is basically our life force, our soul, our spirit double, personal spirit that connects us to Chukwu, while Eke is the sharer, distributor, and the giver that is in charge of apportioning our gifts, destinies, fortunes, and misfortunes in life. Now, without Eke, the Chi cannot function. And without Chineke, Ndi Igbo, man cannot reach Chukwu to manifest his or her destiny. Now, Eke in some parts of Igbo land is used to replace the word Chi, although it is not common in this our generation, but we see Eke in certain names and expressions. Now, let's look at them. Now, in the places where Eke is seen in Igbo cosmology and worldview, it replaces Chi effortlessly. An example is Chenwoba, which means that Chi holds or possesses increase. And in this instance, we see Eke replacing Chi in a similar name, Eke Jioba, meaning Eke possesses or holds increase. We also see this in the name Nebechi, which means look to the Chi, which has Eke replacing Chi in the name Lemeke or Leweke. Now, according to Chinua Achebe, in his essay, Chi in Igbo Cosmology, the Chi versions of these names occur more in the northern and western parts of our land, Igbo land, while the Eke versions are usually used more in the southern and eastern parts of Igbo land. Now, Eke, as part of the Chi, is also called Aka in many parts of Igbo land. We hear it in sayings like, Ina akpali chi gi na aka gi, meaning you are insulting your Chi and your Aka. Now, the Aka here replaces Eke in this statement, used to call a man or a woman to order when they are being disrespectful to elders or speak out of line to other people. Now, to drive home the meaning of Chi na Eke for Ndi Igbo, a story is told about the hen. Now, the ever-busy hen was asked why she scratched the ground for food from daybreak to sunset without ever being satisfied. Now, in her response, the humble hen said, "You see, my dear fellow, when I wake up in the morning, I begin to look for food for my Chi. When I am through with that, I must then find some food for my Eke. By the time I finish with that too, it's almost sunset, and I haven't catered for myself." Now, from the folklore above, it is evident that Ndi Igbo accepted and enunciated the relationship and dual responsibilities shared between Chi and Eke, both deities manifesting the male and the female sides of Chukwu's creative force. Now, let us look at the relationship between Chi as our soul and then Chi as daylight in Igbo Odinani, while pinpointing the realm or the dwelling place of the Chi in Igbo cosmology. Now, the ancient Igbo, Ndi Gboo, in their wisdom and understanding of creation, had the same name for our souls, Chi, and also daylight, Chi, which accompanies the rising of the sun, Anyanwu. And so also, in the practice of Odinani, Ndi Gboo designated the sun as the dwelling place and ultimate source of the Chi. Now, they believe that the sun is the medium through which our individual Chi enters our world to take on Anuaru, which is a body that covers our spirit. We see this in the practice and in the belief of Idotu Chi, which means installing your Chi, which is the physical installation of a man's Chi. Now, this happens when a man comes of age in many parts of Igbo land. He is expected to physically invite his Chi into his home by setting up a shrine dedicated to the complete communication with his chi. Now, he will invite a dibia to perform the rituals of Idotu Chi, which is bringing down the chi from the face of the sun, at daybreak. Now, the chi is invoked into the open sea chi and will remain in the man's compound until the day of his death, when the shrine must be destroyed. Now, the implication of the above ritual simply means that our individual chi resides with the sun, the bringer of daylight, or in other meaning, that the chi passes through, the sun to visit our world, which is Owa. And this completely aligns with the Igbo belief that Chukwu, the creator, is in close proximity or communion with the sun, Anyanwu. Now, it is therefore important to note that the dwelling place of the chi is not Anammo, like many of our people have erroneously believed. Anammo is the dwelling place of spirits of dead people, of our ancestors, while Bemmo is the dwelling place of Chukwu, Chi, and all other divinities in creation. Now, let us take a look at the importance of Chi to us in Ndi Igbo, as expressed in the names we answer. Now, to fully understand how important Chi was or is to us in Ndi Igbo, we only have to just take a look at the names we give to our children. Because the name a man gives to his children clearly shows his beliefs, his life's experience, his fortunes, his misfortunes, and aspirations. Also, we have other adages and proverbs that reveals the core relevance and place of Chi in Igbo worldview and cosmology. Now, some of the names which our Igbo ancestors revered and which holds the blueprint of the importance of the Chi in Igbo cosmology are names like Chika, which means the Chi is supreme. We have Chibuzo, which means Chi is in front, or Chi takes the lead. We have Nebechi, which means look to the Chi, or look to your Chi. And Chinwoba, which I mentioned earlier, means that all the successes that a person possesses belongs to the Chi, or comes from the Chi. And we have Chinwendo. Here we profess that the Chi has the power over life. And we have other names like Chi Kadibia. My name is Chukwu Kadibia, but this is Chi Kadibia. And in this name we profess that the Chi, as an aspect of Chukwu, is greater than the Dibia, who is the healer or the diviner, or a prophet. Now, a man who has been a victim of false accusations will name his child Chie Bonam, meaning, may my Chi not accuse me. Now this points to the fact that the verdict of one's Chi is what matters at the end of his or her life. Now, in his essay, Chi in Igbo Cosmology, Chinua Achebe said that the Igbo believe that a man receives his gifts and his talents, his characters, and general life's possessions before he or she comes to the world, or before he or she reincarnates into the world. So the Chi is the one who leads the bargain for the fortunes, the misfortunes, the possessions and lack that a person is entitled to as he comes into this world. And that is why the Igbo say, Obuetiyana Chie Siluweluku, which means, this means that you mostly find men say this when they don't understand how a man's fortune affects his life, Now, this is also because the ancient Igbo believe that the Chi is a basic universal justice, where a man's fortune cannot be so terrible if he is not responsible for it. So this understanding of the role of the Chi in a person's life is seen in other names such as Chijioke and Nkechinyelu. We also say that Onyekwe Chiekwe, which means that what a man or a woman, puts his or her heart to, that his or her Chi would eventually agree to it. But this is not always the case, because we see cases where a man puts in all the efforts and passion he can muster, but nothing works in his favor, and we say Chiye Kwero, meaning that his Chi does not agree. And this can mean two things. Either the man is trying to alter the paths which he had agreed with his Chi before he was born, or that maybe he has an Ajo Chi, a bad Chi, And the Igbo belief in one man, one chi shows this. And it is evident in the saying, Ofunne na amu, man ofu chi anareke. And this can often be heard when two brothers from the same mother, display completely different characters in how they relate to people. Now, in our understanding and expression of the creative role of Chi in Igbo cosmology, we in Ndi Igbo name our children names like Chi Ekezie, which means that the Chi has restored balance by creating that person in that family. In the same understanding of the creative power of the Chi, we say, Chi ya kebuli ye kebu. And this we see when a man is unattractive or deficient in character. Now, finally, let us look at how you can identify, know, and commune with your Chi through Odinani and Omenani. Now, the importance of knowing and reverencing one's Chi is one aspect of the Igbo worldview and cosmology that has been buried under a huge pile of falsehoods, lies, and propaganda by Christianity, unfortunately, in Igbo land. Now, ever since our encounter with Christianity, many of our people have moved from the belief in the individuality of the Chi to a one universal Chi, which they believe to be Jesus Christ. But Jesus Christ exists for Christians. But for Ndi Igbo, the Chi exists for us individually and connects us to Chukwu. Now, there are two rituals and processes in Odinani and Omenani that leads to the complete knowledge and reverence of the Chi. The first is Afachi, or what we call Afago. And the second and the most important aspect of this journey to communing with our Chi is the ritual of Idotu Chi, like I said earlier, which literally means to draw down the Chi from the face of the sun. Now, these two rituals are the bane of our communication with the Chi. In the olden days, when a child is born, the parents on the 12th day, some on the 8th, or some on the 12th day, go ahead to Agba Fago to know who reincarnated this child. Basically to identify the Chi and Onyowa of that child. And after that, from that particular young age, the child is meant to understand that no Onya Abuchigu. And then the child is meant to understand the communication with his or her Chi. But as things went on and the missionaries came and things eroded, we are now at a point where even at 30 years, most of us don't even know or commune with our Chi. But be that as it may, in Odinani, in Omenani, as a tradition, as a spirituality, and as also a culture, we emphasize that a man should be able to, in prayer with Ojin and Zunedo, call on his Chi. And when you call on your Chi, you don't look to your Chi as if your Chi is somewhere else. Your Chi is within you. The fact that I'm alive today, I can speak, I have my senses. It means there is a spirit within me and my Chi lives within me, So when you call on your Chi, you basically accept the fact that you are a living, breathing Chi with Anuaru in your body. And then you call on that special connection which your Chi has with creation, which is Chukwu. And to further enhance that relationship with Chukwu, Adotuzie Chi, you bring your Chi down. And it is in what we call an open Chi. Now, this is basically how Christians or how other religions have physical representations of their relationship with God. You have it in Obensichi, you have it in Obensiagwan and Okuagwan, all of that. You see it in other religions like Buddha, their carvings and shrines. You see it in the Bible, you see it in the Rosary, you see it in the cross. All of that, all of these are ways you try to give a physical perception to your belief and relationship with creation. And so when a man has his Obensichi, when he wants to call on his Chi, he communes with the Obensichi. That is where he drops his kola nut and everything. And at the end of the day, it leads to a complete and unique relationship with creation. Now, I hope everything I've said today about Chi has shown you more of the Igbo understanding of Chi. If you have any questions or you have any comments or any observations or any contributions to what we have discussed today, please feel free to comment wherever you find this video, on YouTube, on Facebook, on Twitter. And then I'll do my best to reply, and then let's discuss and expand the self-awareness into Odinani and Omenani. I remain my humble self, Chukwu. Till I see you again on another episode in the Bani Diamond Dialogue.